We've been here in Londonderry about 25 years, and I started in northern Wisconsin with my dad and my grandfather. I'm not going to age date myself, but let me say 50 plus years ago. We like to be ready here in the sugar house around the middle of February. Generally, the season on an average runs from the latter part of February, begins in latter part of February and first part of March, and goes for about 4 to 6 weeks. So I think by the first week in April we'll probably be all done. When you're drilling the new hole, that's why I drill them, is you watch for clean bark, white bark. If it's brown, that tells you you're into dead wood. If you do that to an oak tree or a pine tree, you'd have rot developing in there. Now, some of these holes here were probably drilled 20 years ago, but you can still see on the bark where they were. This is that bittersweet, and what it does, it grows up the tree, goes around the tree, and it'll kill it. Better off chopping them off right at the grass. This one here runs from here all the way back along the hillside, all the way in the back there. And the other one over there we'll look at runs up to the chalet. See, this one here is just dripping.
About 6 inches in there.
And that's off of these first trees right here. So they're sitting right there in the sun. On a real good day, you get a good sap run. This will practically fill in one day. There's, what, 30 taps on here? If you want to take into consideration one of those 5-gallon buckets in each hand, full of sap, up there during mud season, coming down the hill. We tap probably around 300 trees. We're running about 700 taps around town. We don't keep track of the trees as much as we do the taps. For example, a 12-inch tree would get 1 tap, an 18 or 20-inch tree would have 2, and a big tree may have 3 and sometimes 4. So I guess it's probably right around 300, 350 trees. Pretty good run today. Surprising. It didn't freeze last night, so. We'll take whatever we can get. the sugar content on stuff.
A little bit of snow up north, huh?
Yeah, 3-4 inches.
Ski areas will be happy.
Matt up there. It's a continuous flow system. We don't do it in batches. And off the evaporator, we can take about 2 gallons per hour off the evaporator, which means we're putting in roughly 80 gallons of sap. And then it goes through that white pipe into tanks under the barn, and we got 2 400-gallon tanks under there. And then it comes through this black hose across the driveway and in. And once we put the sap up there, we don't have to touch it or do anything with it. It's all by gravity, and it floats on each of the pans, so it maintains a certain level. The sap coming in here starts boiling in this pan here, and it'll start boiling at about 212 degrees, and then the steam is going up and going out into the sky. Now it's leaving the sugars in the pan, and it's also starting to change color. So what we do is it starts boiling here, goes down around the corner and up the other side of the pan, and it comes into this pan here and makes a zigzag pattern. And when it gets down to this large thermometer here, it's up to about 218 or 19 degrees. Way hotter than water boiling. We do the school tours. I know on the reserve tours we probably have 3,000, 3,500 preschoolers and kindergarten kids in, and then the weekends we're just open for drop-in visitors. Probably another 3,000 to 4,000, probably 5,000 total come through. Gets busy. Now,